Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Greater Bellevue Area Chamber of Commerce 2019 Leadership Graduation. I am Amanda Andrews, the past president of the Bellevue Chamber Executive Board, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all here today. Today's about leadership. There are many definitions and opinions on what constitutes a leader, and in general, in what is required to be considered a community leader. But in the interest of time, let's all agree that a community leader is any individual who participates in the betterment of the community, be it as an elected official, a member of a board of directors, a member of a civic organization, or a volunteer. I think all of us in this room are community leaders in one way or another. And for that, I sincerely applaud all of you. I would like to recognize some of our community leaders with us tonight. If you are an elected official or a member of the Greater Bellevue Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for your commitment to this community, the time you serve, and the hours you volunteer. I know that all of us in this room give freely of our time. We are all community leaders. Many of our community leaders were unable to attend today, so if you see them out in the community, please take a minute to thank them. I would like for John and Kim to please join me at the podium. They're going to share a few things with you guys.
All right, I got some grievances I want to get out of here right away. So all those in Leadership Bellevue class of 2019, as I said before, you're all defriended for voting me to speak tonight. Second thing is there's two tables here that I didn't invite anyone this evening. I thought all my loved ones and my everyone that I loved was already going to be here tonight, right? Class of 2019? Thank you, Patty. Yep. And lo and behold, my board president invites school board members and my wife and my staff here, and I had no idea. I mean, I'm pretty unobservant as it is, but really, thanks. All in trouble. So, but thank you very, very much, and I know that we've shared some great events this year and some tremendous learning opportunities, and got to hear from a lot of great community leaders as well. But it's your friendship. Quite frankly, it's your friendship that is most important. It's not the networking's nice. Don't get me wrong, because I'm always looking for money, right? You all know what I do, but your friendship is extremely important, and so thank you. We're going to touch upon some highlights. We're going to read some statements from the graduates, since not everyone wanted to come up here and speak, but we'll take care of that. So I'm going to pass over to Kim, and we can get started.
Okay.
Sound good?
Sounds good. So I'm going to start with Becky's statement. So Becky's takeaway from the class was that she felt like what she learned in the group was valuable to herself, and that whatever she can give back to the it's valuable to herself, and whatever she can do to give back to her community. Do you want to do one? You want me to do one?
Sure.
That was Matt's.
Put my readers on. Matt Durden, he says, this class experience is a perfect opportunity to network with our community's business representatives and learn how we can effectively contribute to the betterment of the greater Bellevue area. Wow, that was pretty good.
That's good. So Adam, and I'm sorry, Adam, I don't know how to say yours, Dagus. Adam says, to put a takeaway into one sentence is a bit challenging. He said, leadership is less about you and more about who the team needs you to be.
Thank you. Stephanie Sampson, she wrote.
Good work with the school.
Bellevue schools don't mind me. I'm still tongue-tied here, sorry. Stephanie writes, Bellevue leadership has given me a better understanding of Bellevue community offerings and the challenges that exist in public education and government. I also gained more awareness of my strengths in a group dynamic.
Awesome. Stephanie Damon says, as a transplant to Nebraska, I would say that this class served as a root stimulator. I got to see how much care and hard work goes into making Bellevue such a lovely place for all of us to flourish. That was good.
It was good. It's a good thing we gave him like a week to prepare a statement.
right?
That's pretty good. Patty says, the course was threefold for me. Imagine that. Patty's got some words to say. There we go, Patty. Buckle up. I learned a lot in each learning session, loved touring our community, and most of all enjoyed building relationships with so many talented, bright, and thoughtful leaders. I felt I was with friends each month as we shared our thoughts. Even at the times where the conversations were more difficult, I will miss seeing everyone each month.
Aww. Gabriella, over the course of the past few months, I've made lasting friendships, gained insight into the deeper needs and impact of various agencies in our community, and grew as a person and as a leader in many roles I serve. Oh, did we do that one? Here we go.
Oh.
There's several.
Tanya Wilkinson from Chick-fil-A. Individually, we each care deeply about our community. Together, we can help grow and prosper our community.
And Shantae says, meeting my fellow leaders of Bellevue and building new and long-lasting relationships. I am deeply sad that it has come to an end. It's not over.
Maria Polinsky, never shy for words either. Hi, Maria. I love the opportunity to learn more about the Bellevue community and see the awesome city we have. Several exclamation points. The relationships I have made along the way are so special to me.
And then Anthony was on the back of one of them. Did I leave Anthony somewhere?
We can just call him up and he can speak.
Hey, Anthony, what was your statement?
There we go. Oh, no, is that
That's
it?
Becky.
Like 2 minutes to decide this. The answer was really about my classmates. This group was really good. I'm glad I got to meet everybody.
That's what we should have done, just went around the
I
room.
know.
That's what we should have done. Did we get everybody?
That's everyone that I
Okay.
have.
So, just to touch on a couple of highlights, and we'll go back and forth, right, Kim?
Okay.
So, I thought it was really cool. We hit many different areas in the community, and this is not in any chronological order, but maybe just some things that really stood out in my mind. Like the Sarpy County Museum. I grew up in Bellevue. I'm a Bellevue guy, and I had never been there. And I knew about some history, this and that and the other. If you have not been to Sarpy County Museum, make time to do it. Very, very worthwhile. Great tour. We got to see the log cabin, which is really cool. I've seen it there before, but I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat. I don't know what it's doing there. It's really cool on the inside. We got to see the First Presbyterian Church, first church in Bellevue. Beautiful building, by the way. I thought it was always off limits. I'd never been inside, Faith, so that was awesome. Then obviously learning more and more about our community, and so I just thought that was really, really awesome. Make a chance to do that. Ben will take care of you there.
So one of my favorite places was when we went to the Bellevue schools. So the administration, different people from the administration came and talked to us, and we got to learn what makes our school systems run in Bellevue. I think my takeaway from the school, though, is when we got to go to the high school and we had lunch with some of the students, and the group that I was with, these young ladies had it together. They were more together than I can be. They know what they want to do, and they attribute it to the school, the counselors, the principal, the teachers. They said that they know that they can go to them and they can talk to them and be heard. So that was mine.
Another takeaway for me was the Nebraska Medicine, the Bellevue Medical Center. And Stephanie, thank you so much where is Stephanie? Thank you for setting that up. That was very, very terrific and very educational. I had no idea the amount of births that are there actually, like 917, I think, is that correct? I mean, I threw 917, that sounded like it was like exact, but don't count my math on it. But that's what I took away from that. The technology that's being used in that facility as well, unbelievable. And so it's just awesome that these cutting, leading edge industries are here in Bellevue. And so thank you for setting that up. That was really, really wonderful.
My absolute favorite class was with Dwayne right here. The story that we had to tell and get involved with, that he took my pen away from me and would not let me take notes. Thank you. But it was all about where you came from, how did you get there, what obstacles did you face, how you overcame those obstacles, and who were some of your leaders. So thank you, Dwayne.
And last on my list, but not least, City of Bellevue. You know, we went there, and you know, I felt like I kind of knew some of the community leaders. Not that I rub elbows with them all the time, but I felt like I knew them well enough. Had no idea the amount of coordination that had to happen during the flooding that happened this year. And it was awesome to hear from the Chief of Police, Mark Albert. Great hearing from Rusty, Jim Risto. Thank you guys for taking the time to be a part of this. And I'm looking directly at Rusty, like you're the only one in the room. Hey, buddy. It was awesome. And I will tell you that, you know, listen, we may not all see eye to eye politically, but it's a tough job. I can't even imagine. And so we need to make sure that we are being supportive in any ways that we can. Whether or not you agree with how things are going, whatever, leave that at the door. It's about this community. And that's what I took away from this class, is again, the friendships. We laughed, I don't know if we loved, but because my wife's here, I don't know. You might take that a little bit, I don't have any explaining to do later on, but, and most recently, we cried together as well. And so this may be the end of our journey together with this leadership class, but it doesn't mean that our friendships and our networks end. And so with that, did you have another one? You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll just take over. I don't need to do that. But we also had to choose a class project. And I tried my damnedest not to give my 2 cents because, you know, obviously I want to raise funds for what I do, working for the Bellevue Public Schools Foundation. Good little, little plug. But we were many different subjects came up, and I kind of sat quiet, didn't really want to say too much about it. And eventually they got around to choosing the Bellevue Public School Foundation as their class project. And you guys decided to help me out with our first annual golf tournament. And I'm just so very, very thankful that you did that. It came down to, number one, donations. All of you stepped up to do that. Then you came out to help pack those bags, right? Then you came out to the actual golf event and were my customer service people and helping check people in. Chick-fil-A, Tom, you've got an unbelievable staff.
Oh, no doubt.
Right? If I can borrow them anytime, let me know, because I will. Tanya and Gabrielle, you guys did a fantastic job, and everyone who helped with the check-in just made my day so much easier. So thank you. But those funds went to senior scholarships. There will be going to senior scholarships in April. So make sure that you guys get a table. I think we can do one for free for you guys. Twist my arm a little bit, but thank you guys. Thank you for the whole class for doing that. Moving forward, I like to call Faith up. Faith? Yeah. You surprised me, and now I get to give a surprise back. You be careful. You be careful how that works. Faith, we really appreciate all your leadership, all of your coordination, every effort that you did this year. And I know that Maria and Patty have some gifts for you as well. But I took it upon myself I don't really ask for permission to do a lot of things. So, but I went ahead and got something ordered on behalf of the class. And this says, presented to Faith Morrison. I can't see the back of it. In appreciation for your commitment to the class of 2019 Leadership Bellevue. Faith, thank you so much for your leadership, your commitment, and most of all, your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you. This is from everybody as well. Thank you for all of your hard work and putting up with all of us. I know, you guys were like the best class. I enjoyed every minute of it. I've shared with a lot of them
They
how
can't hear you, Faith. Speak up to the mic.
this has been an awesome experience for me and for the class. It was such a pleasure to work with a class that bonded from day one. So everything we did, they were interactive and they trusted each other, and it just made it so rewarding, not for me, but for everybody. So thank you guys, thank you.
The only reason I wanted to open it is because I want to compare the classy thing John did for you and then compared to what I did.
Well, there's a lot of paper. Oh, okay. It's a thank you from Bellevue Leadership 2019, but it's a wine cooler. With glass. Oh, and a very nice wine, too.
Sarah gave me the inside information.
Oh, she would know. Oh. And it's a bracelet that says faith, hope, and love. Oh. Thank you guys so very, very much. This is way too much. Thank you.
So that's what happens when you have a room full of leaders, that we don't talk to one another, and we just took it upon ourselves to do it. So we might need some volunteers to walk Faith out later on tonight. Thank you guys for attending, and I'll turn the mic back over to the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, John and Kim, and I second that Faith is wonderful and did a great job with leadership. She was very busy. Congratulations. Today we are honored to have a local businessman who will now give us his insight into what leadership is all about. Kevin Hensel is the president and CEO of the Greater Bellevue Area Chamber of Commerce. He earned a master's degree in leadership and a bachelor's degree in human and social services administration from both the University of Bellevue and is a certified John Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer. He's also an adjunct faculty member with the Nebraska Wesleyan University, where he teaches courses in leadership and communications. Kevin has lived and been active in Bellevue most of his life, along with Bellevue University. He is a graduate of Bellevue West High School and has been a previous board member of the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, the Bellevue Public Schools Foundation, and the Bellevue Safety Foundation. He's also served as a member of the Planning Commission. Whew, mouthful, huh? His belief is that we can always be better tomorrow than we are today, is what drives passion for all aspects of leadership development. Kevin is committed to developing relationships and leaders in both for-profit and nonprofit organizations for over 30 years. Please join me in welcoming Kevin Hensel.
Well, good evening. Who the heck wrote that? Sorry, Faith. Faith asked me to send her something. So for those of you that were in the class, I'll back up a little bit. Probably a year ago, Faith asked me if I would be interested in coming and speaking at the very first class of Leadership Bellevue 2019. And I said, absolutely. So I had it on my calendar. And every few months or so, Faith would check in with me and say, you've got it on your calendar, right? You've got it on your calendar. So I was pleased that I was able to be the inaugural speaker for this particular class. And we had a great day together. And a couple of weeks after that, Faith called me and she said, hey, I think it would be a really cool idea if you were the keynote speaker at graduation as well, and we can kind of start and end with you. So that would be fantastic. So I put it on my calendar, of course, having absolutely no idea that by this point in time I would be involved working with the chamber. So this is kind of a cool turn of events and a cool circle and kind of neat the way things work out. So I want some group participation here for just a minute before we really launch into Kevin Hensel's thoughts on leadership. And class, you've already been exposed to this, so please play along, but don't let the cat out of the bag, all right? So if I could have everyone stand up, and I want you to pick a partner. Be brave. If you don't have an even number at your table, branch out to another table. So everyone needs to have a partner. I want one person in the pair to clench your fists as tight as you possibly can. And I want the other person in the pair to do everything you can to get that person's fists open. All right? Go for it.
You clench your fist and I'll try to. You clench your fist.
All right, at the risk of broken knuckles and puncture wounds, go ahead and I want you to swap. So trade places in your partnership.
See, that's me. You guys are tickle. That's not fair. There are no rules. That's true.
Pairs. So by a show of hands, who immediately went to forceful, covert tactics, right? I saw fingernails, I saw prying, I saw maybe a little tickling, right? There were no rules, right? How many people were successful in getting your partner's fists opened? Okay? Biting, that would be a covert tactic, absolutely. So right up front here, what tactic did you use to get fists open? I asked her to open her hands. Ah. Very good. He asked, could you please open your fist? Right? We are so conditioned to immediately move into force, right? Rather than using the path of least resistance. It doesn't occur to most of us to say, could you please open your fists and see what kind of cooperation you might get? That is leadership, right? Managing is forcing. Managing is driving. Managing is dealing with stuff. Leadership is dealing with people. So, a few thoughts on leadership. First of all, it's very heartening to hear so many of the themes already presented by the statements of the class and by John and by Kim, that leadership is absolutely a journey. And as is said in my bio, I had a leader who used to say all the time, we are never as good as we can be. Never be as good as we can be. We're not as good today as we can be tomorrow, if we make the commitment to be better tomorrow than we were today. And so it's a journey that never ends. While Leadership Bellevue 2019 may be done, you've forged relationships. You've engaged in a journey that will never end. I like to say that once you've been exposed to leadership and leadership philosophy, you never look at the same things the same way. You're always looking now through a leadership lens. It's a different perspective. So what is leadership? John Maxwell, my favorite leadership guru, his simple, simplistic definition of leadership is influence. Leadership is getting things done with and through others. What else? Leadership and life, and we talked about this in the first class, is nothing but a series of choices and consequences. Over on the left, my left over here on the back wall, there are a couple of posters that were from our day, that day. And the TFB, for those of you who can't see it in the back over there, poster that says TFB, that stands for thinking, feeling, and behaving. And we did an activity, and I asked the class, how many of you, your thinking and your feelings drive your behavior? And it was a little bit of a trick question, because we did a couple of activities to prove that we always have control over our behavior. We may not always have control over our thoughts and over our feelings, but we always have control over our behavior. We make a choice about what behavior we want to engage in. It may be contradictory to our thinking and our feeling, but that's what gives us the power as leaders, is to make the right choice, no matter how we're thinking and how we're feeling. And if we make the right choice in behavior, it's amazing how that behavior, by engaging in the behavior, it starts to shift your thinking and your feeling. So rather than living in a world where your thoughts and your behavior, your thoughts and your feelings drive your behavior, make the choice to allow your behavior to drive your thoughts and your feelings. The next item that I believe is important for leaders is to focus on growth. And you're really using the journalistic questions of what, why, how, and who. That helps us gain perspective. When we're asking those questions and we're engaging with people, and we're asking questions and we're sincerely interested in the answers, that's what makes a good leader. It gives us insight in order for us to accomplish what it is we're set out to accomplish with that influence of working with and through others. By having those types of conversations, we're building relationships. We're communicating that we care and that we're interested. And if we truly care and we're interested in people's growth and their success as a leader, we should be perfectly comfortable to use the F word frequently and often and impactfully. That F word would be feedback. People always get a little worried. Right? We need to have conversations that sometimes can be difficult, but they're crucial conversations. If we are not getting feedback, we as leaders need to be asking for it, because we need to know what it is that we're doing that we should keep doing, and what is it that we should be doing differently and doing better. And as leaders of others, if we're not providing that kind of information to those folks that we're leading, we're doing them a huge disservice. I think it's incredibly disrespectful. If you care and sincerely care about the people that you're leading, to me, it's one of the most disrespectful things you can do to watch them flounder and fail without giving them the information they need in order to be successful. Now, how the individual receives that feedback, that choice is theirs. But if you've established a solid relationship where there is belief and trust that you care about them, they're going to appreciate the feedback and know that you're giving it to them because you care about their success. It was mentioned earlier, leadership really is about service and serving others. It's not about you as the leader. It's about how do we grow and develop others. And through their growth and development, it comes back to us tenfold and more. But that shouldn't be our first agenda. That's an ancillary outcome to our work as leaders. So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Everybody in this room is a leader in one way or another. It's not about title, it's not about position, it's about our impact on others. And so I'm going to challenge you to think about how can you be better tomorrow than you were today? What choices are you going to make? Think about it from a standpoint of what tomorrow can you either keep doing? What can you identify that you're doing well as a leader and you want to be sure you keep doing? What have you identified that maybe as a leader I should stop doing, and you'll stop doing that tomorrow? Or what's something new that you can start doing tomorrow to be a better leader? Because again, it's a journey. We don't have all the answers, and we are never going to reach the destination because we will never be as good today as we can be tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Kevin. We really appreciate that. A dynamic progressive community requires leadership of the highest order. Leadership Bellevue identifies people who are emerging leaders with the Bellevue Offutt area and offers them a broad range of exposure to issues vital to the community. It's an opportunity to develop an understanding of how Bellevue works and to build a network which encompasses aspects of our community's affairs. This year, 16 dynamic individuals participated and completed Leadership Bellevue 2019. Please welcome Faith Morrison and Kevin Hensel to help me in the giving and pinning of each Leadership Bellevue graduate. Leadership Bellevue Class of 19, as I call your name, please come forward. Each member of the class will be individually called forward to be pinned and presented their diploma in their book. The first one's a personal favorite of mine. Are you ready, guys? Ready? Alex Bontrager from Great Western Bank. The next one is Angie Britton. Oh, Angie's not here. Okay, sorry, just kidding, guys. Shantae Chavez with Rising View. Then we have Adam Vegas. Congratulations. Next we have Stephanie Damon. Pat Durbin. Kim Gerber. Gabriella Hamilton. Jason Hotelli. Maria Polinski. First. Bethany Sampson. Rebecca Wade. Patty Westling. Here, we're gonna turn around. Sonia Wilkinson. Yeah, I'm like shaking your hand. And Anthony Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of Leadership Bellevue 2019. Congratulations, everyone. Watch for great things in the future from these individuals. Before we wrap up, I'd like to thank the businesses that supported an employee or employees. Without your commitment to the community and desire to provide your employees with professional development, Leadership Bellevue would not be successful. I guarantee you that these individuals have learned things that will make them better employees, better volunteers, and better community leaders. Sidebar, I graduated from Leadership Bellevue in 2011, and I can tell you personally that I gained a lot of leadership, seriously, I wouldn't be where I am today had I not gone through this program. So thank you for investing in your employees and investing in their leadership. Thank you so much. Also, a thank you to tonight's corporate sponsors, Bellevue Public Schools, Nebraska Medicine, Bellevue Public Schools Foundation, Lockheed Martin, Sam's Club, and our dessert sponsor, Chick-fil-A. Thank you to Custom Catering for the great appetizers, Cornhusker Beverage, and the Bellevue University, for the great facility. Thank you, Stacy Nelson, City of Bellevue, for filming today's event to be shown on Cox Channel 17 BTV. And thank you and congratulations again to Leadership Bellevue Class of 2019. Leadership Bellevue is a springboard into community awareness and leadership. I challenge you to become involved in your community. If you have any questions, please ask Faith, Kevin, myself, or anybody else who is in this class, because they're also going to be very involved here shortly. I have some chamber announcements. The applications for the 2020 Leadership Bellevue will be available, it says soon, so end of the month, Faith says. Please contact her at the chamber office if you have any other questions or visit the chamber website. December 11th is the Chamber Holiday Appreciation and Open House. Please join us in celebrating the season and the success of our members at the office. All members are welcome to mingle, network, eat, drink, and be merry. This is an annual tradition that just keeps getting better. Now through December 1st, donations are being sought for Operation Holiday Cheer. This is also another event that I have been honored to be a part of every year since I've been a branch manager, so probably for about 8 years or so. What Operation Holiday Cheer is we volunteers in the community stuff gift bags for the enlisted men and women living in the dorms at Offutt. Cash donations are also accepted to purchase individually wrapped and sealed items for the gift bags. Your support is needed for the continued success of this event. Thank you and good night, Leadership Bellevue graduates and Kevin Hensel. Please come to the front of the room for photos. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you for coming.